What is going on, guys? My name is Nicholas Martin here at Data Dash, and today is July 21st of 2017. So guys, as the market starts to rebound and we see confidence coming back into the market, with Bitcoin coming close to its all-time highs, when we see Ethereum rebounding after even terrible news of the $32 million of Ethereum getting hacked out of the multisig wallet, and all other altcoins coming back, it seems like it's a time to start looking at some good buys and trying to find some good long-term coins. And a lot of people are asking a repetitive, simple question. What is going to be the next Ethereum? What's going to be the next big breakout coin that I can hold over the next few months? And I've talked positively. I think there's a lot of great altcoins out there. I think Litecoin's really good. I think IOTA's good, and I think Stratus is good. And I even covered some small caps that could be really good potential coins over the long term. But a lot of people are looking for a nice, steady, kind of mid-cap coin right now that's going to take the leaderboards of the top 3 to 5 positions and really compete with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the other players. So what could that coin be? Well, I understand if you talked and asked this question to 1,000 different people, you're probably going to get 100 to 200 different responses and 1,000 reasons why. But I'm going to tell you all what my opinion is. Now remember, take it as is. It's just my opinion. It's not financial advice. You have to do your own research and really look into it for yourself before you put any actual money on the table. So, what is the coin I'm confident on? Well, if you can't tell from the tab already, it's ANTSHARES. Now, this one has been getting a lot of media coverage compared to a lot of other cryptocurrencies, and it had a wonderful ascent, if we turn on the market cap here, a wonderful ascent from around the $64 million range all the way up to almost $500 million. So what really led to this rise, and why am I so optimistic on it? Well, before anything, let's look at these statistics on it. It's sitting at around a $364 million market cap, a little bit cheap, relatively cheap from its highs, a decent percentage back. We see steady volume in trading, which means there is an interest in this coin, over 26 million, so almost relatively close to about, if we're rounding it to the big evens, almost 10%. If you can maintain around 10% volume, that is really good for any given coin. That shows that a lot of interest is coming in. Next up, I want to talk about the total supply. 100 million coins is not a crazy amount for cryptocurrency, and if we're thinking in the long term here, it's even better because on the fundamental side, the team who created ANTSHARES owns about half of the supply, and the rest are on the market, meaning that really only 50 million are available right now. So that really kind of concentrates the supply even smaller in the sense of going out and buying it on an exchange. So the numbers are looking great on it. Why am I so optimistic on ANTSHARES? Is it the fact that it has a solid dev team? Is it the sense of its technology? Well, I gotta say, I am impressed with both of those, and I hope to go a little bit in depth on those topics, but I really want to talk about the main thing that's made me optimistic on this, and it is the fact that it is the first massively adopted Chinese cryptocurrency. Period. I know that seems simple, and it might sound silly and stupid, but I gotta tell you, folks, it is a very big fundamental benefit that ANTSHARES gets compared to any other cryptocurrency that's going to be made in China, and I'll tell you why. The reason being is that in China there has become a growing trend, and that trend is, to give you a good example, it's a lot like buying made in America. You know that good feeling when you go out and you buy something and it's like, oh wow, that came from this country. Now, especially nowadays, it's really rewarding because we don't have many things made in America. It feels great, right, to have that made in America brand there, or a company that's founded here in the US and you want to go support that brand. There's just countless lists of examples that kind of resignation of like, hey, I'm supporting my country, I'm supporting my product. So anyways, it's a good way to kind of segue into the topic of why ANTSHARES is so powerful in China. And the reason why is because in China there is a big sense of brand recognition with products and brands that are in China. And people love supporting Chinese companies. The biggest example I can give you this and really show you the power of it is in 2015 there was a bubble in the Shanghai Composite, one of the most traded on exchanges in China. And basically speaking, what was happening was we saw a 150% increase, around 120, 150% increase in the stock price of the overall market in the course of about a year to a year and a half. That's really fast. And who said cryptocurrencies are the only thing that are moving up crazy fast? That was a really crazy return for 1 year. Now, why is that? Why did it do that compared to traditional years where markets probably went up 10 to 15% or maybe down 10 to 15%? Well, the reason why it happened was because at that time, we've seen a oversweeping amount of China's middle class come into formation. A lot of people are seeing rising wages in China and continuing economic growth. So with this, there's been a really big push for the gambling scene. It's a big thing in Chinese culture. And a lot of people were going to the slot machines or playing the lottery, you name it. However, what they started to transition to with the advancements in trading technology, along with the abundance of technology with investments and allowing other people, which are known as retail investors like you and I, compared to hedge funds, to get into the stock market, it sparked a huge funnel of people getting into the stock market, seeing it as either one of two things, a get-rich-quick thing, or a sense to have pride in what you put your money into. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, just like how if you invest in a U.S. company, or you invest or go spend your money at a company that manufactures in the U.S., people in China resonate with supporting Chinese brands, and they went out and invested in their favorite companies. They didn't care about their financial statements, really. A lot of people didn't know how to look at that or what sources to look at. They just simply put their money in and were supporting those companies. Now, why did it push up the market so quick? Well, because they were simply paying the ask price. And any transaction that you do on any exchange, there is a bid and an ask. A bid is from the buyer and an ask is from the seller. And they come together and they agree on a price. But what happened was the retail investors were just simply trying to get in as quick as possible, and they were paying the seller's ask price, meaning that it kept on pushing the price up faster and faster and faster, and people didn't care how much they were paying because they all were getting rich off of it technically. They were in what's known as a bubble. So eventually it crashed and it didn't turn out very good, and a lot of people lost money. However, that same fundamental cultural value is still in China, and it will be for a very long time. And I think that that gives ANTSHARES a lot of support to really get off the ground, past its highs, and possibly be the next Ethereum. With a much more limited supply than Ethereum in the long term, we could see ANTS really going up. And if its tech, along with its team, stay as steady as they are right now, we could really see it continue to go to a much higher level. Now, I'm not going to throw some random number at you because I can't read the future. But as they transition to Neo, as you guys can probably see, they're making updates to their website. Neo is the new name for ANTSHARES. So they're making changes to it. They're really trying to make it a cryptocurrency that can work across the world and be seen as a real, genuine cryptocurrency. And if we scroll down here, like I said, they've got good tech, they're being adopted pretty well, and they've got a good-sized team. So, with these factors in, they've met all the necessary requirements. All they need is the adoption. And guys, I'm telling you, if China really starts getting into cryptocurrencies, the average citizen starts learning a little bit about it, and it starts to become adopted over the next year or two. And as Asian markets in general tend to start taking cryptocurrencies at brick and mortar stores, yes, that's happening in Japan. They have there's an article I'll link below that talked about how in Japan, I think it's 200 or 600,000 stores are going to be open, and they're going to start accepting Bitcoin as a means of exchange. Guys, cryptocurrencies are growing. They're starting to become used in daily life. And who would think brick and mortar stores? We've seen it in e-commerce. We've seen it on Amazon, Overstock, a lot of U.S. companies, but we're seeing it across the globe. This is really a global network of currencies, and it's so cool to see this. And I'm telling you all, once adoption starts coming for cryptocurrencies, I think ANTSHARES is going to see just as equal amount as Bitcoin in Asian markets, especially in China, guys. So anyways, I know I kind of just generally covered the fundamental aspect of it, but there's some great tech behind it, guys, along with the team, and you should go check that out. Go to their website. You can find mostly all the information you need. And if you guys got an opinion on ANTS, leave it down below. If you've got something you want me to cover, leave a comment down below as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.